Hello and welcome to Subscriber News. As always, one of these means a video is coming soon, and so I'll be talking about that. I'm also going to be talking about LBRY updates, or Odysee, and finally, the topic of the decade, AI. So, without further ado, I'll get started. First topic of the day, new videos. I've been back home for a bit less than a week, and I'll be back home for the rest of this week, and so in that time period, I've been working on two videos. So actually, I've scripted out some of those videos while I was out working my job over the summer, and so right now both of them are in production. The first one is a ThinkPad X1 Yoga 4th generation and also 5th generation upgrade video. I'm actually upgrading to one of those, X1 Yoga 4th generation, and so I'm currently making an upgrade guide. In fact, that back there is the timeline for that, so coming soon. That's coming really soon. Also, Windows 10 is leaving support in October, I think, and so I've got a retrospective that I've written and I'm also working on, and that'll be done by the end of this week, but of course it's going to come out in October when Windows 10 actually loses support. Another few video ideas that I have, and please let me know what you think about these. One of them, I did trash pick a bunch of computer parts because at school the econ department was throwing out just a ton of old computers. There's a giant e-waste pile, and I took some stuff. So actually, I'm now running a, I don't know if, for those of you who know my setup back at home, I used to have a Pentium G4600 in my PC, and now I have a Core i7 6700. That was actually a funny story. There was a grad student, I think, who was also trying to fish out parts from the e-cycling pile, and I was always losing the new stuff because it's most in demand or whatever, and I had to I had to get there early to basically right after they dropped off a computer with the 6700 in it. I was taking out the CPU and this other guy shows up and he sees me with a computer and the CPU and he leaves. I think I may have stolen it from under his nose, so that was kind of funny. I may cut that out. I don't know. So basically, yeah, I have a bunch of parts, mostly memory. I've got some old CPUs that I do have. I've probably mentioned this sometime in another subscriber news, but I have some Dell Optiplex, I believe 990 desktop or maybe small form factor computers, and those support second and third gen Intel CPUs. They also may support LGA 11, I believe 55 Xeon CPUs because I got one of those out of there too. So yeah, I can use those as a test bench to test out the CPUs and memory that I dug out of the e-cycling pile. I was thinking actually of making that a live stream, and that could be a time where I could, do computer work and also be able to interact with people live. So that's an idea that I've had. Didn't really get around to doing that, at least after I got home from school this past semester, but please let me know if you'd really like to see it. Leave it in the comments. We'll see. We'll see about that. So yeah. Other computers that I might cover. I have a ThinkPad X200 tablet. Don't know exactly how I would write that video, but it's possible. I do have the Dell Optiplexes too, so those are other options. So yeah, those are just possible ideas. Of course, all pending my availability, whether I have time, but yeah, so stay posted. I've got a bit less to say about this next topic, but I did want to bring it up. I got an email sometime in the spring that Odysee was not syncing my YouTube videos anymore because I didn't have enough viewership. For the most part, I was kind of using it to have another source for my videos, but not a lot of people watch it there anyway. Their lack of content moderation has also been an issue for some people. I think the Linux Experiment, who I watch, he stopped using Odysee because of that. And so I'm not going to make too much of an effort to try to get back on there. If people do want to watch my videos there and content sync resumes, then that's great, but I'm also just not going to, I don't think that's going to be a big priority for me. Finally, I want to talk about AI. It's been huge and it's having effects all over society, as a lot of us are seeing. And for this channel, I feel like the biggest pertinent issue is whether I use AI to make videos. The answer is I refuse to use AI to write scripts. But I did run across some music that was, I believe, AI generated that I might want to use as background music for an upcoming video. The question is, I'm not sure how to feel about that. I actually did consult my friend Kogan, who he makes music. I asked him what he thought about AI, and he said, in this case, because the music was AI generated, it wasn't created as art. He said it was more analogous to, or at least it sounded like it was more analogous to royalty-free music that people would use in the background of videos. It was okay. One of the reasons that drew me to using this AI-generated song was that because copyright law, at least in the US, does not recognize AI as being copyrightable, or AI works as being copyrightable, that's been convenient, so I don't have to worry about rights and stuff and licensing. But yeah, I still don't exactly know how to feel about it. The video in question was a Windows 10 video. I'll probably just end up going ahead with it anyway, but I do want to know if any of you have opinions or knowledge about, using AI in this fashion. Please let me know in the comments. That's it from me for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you have anything else that you want to bring up or any other questions, whatever, just feel free, leave them in the comments. I hope you look forward to the videos that are coming out soon, and we'll see you in the next subscriber news, whenever that is.